Hey guys, welcome back to Kevin's Place. Well, today I'm going to go through and give you another garden tour. It is now about the middle of April and things are really starting to bloom and come out, so I thought I'd take you guys through here and see what's going on. So let's take a look. So this hydrangea is starting to get pretty full. You can see that it's really starting to cover up this part of the garden area. I'm really excited for that. Should probably have some blooms before long. Really excited for this. And over here you can see the pulmonaria is really blooming out. I didn't think they were going to get this big, but there you go. So I'm really excited for that. The lemony lace is really starting to fill out. The lower petalum is starting to bloom. You can see those little witch hazel type flowering buds. And then more lemony lace. This one is really enjoying life. You can see that it's really starting to move around, make some room for itself. More pulmonaria and my cryptomeria here. I really enjoy this. In this part of the garden, you can see that the heucheras are really starting to come in, and they're very happy. Got a couple of those over here, 2 more here, and there. This is Brunnera, and it has really exploded. You can see that it has these little blue blooms. They look like forget-me-nots. This plant is actually called a false forget-me-not, and it does bloom. But you mostly grow these for their leaves, not necessarily for the blooms. But I thought they were really pretty, so I left them in. And it's actually pretty big. It's taking up a good amount of space in this one plant. And here you can see another variety. This is a variegated type of Brunnera. It also has the little blooms on top. I've got 2 of those flanking the Japanese maple here. This maple is really taken to this spot, so I'm happy for that. You can see that it's almost reached the pathway, and when I planted it, it was not near the pathway, so yeah, it's making progress. I think this combination worked out really well with the heucheras, the Brunnera, and the maple. You can kind of see all the different colors because there's pops of red and bright green. So behind the maple here, we have some more heucheras and more Brunnera. And right here, there are actually 2 hostas here that I completely forgot that I moved here last year. So they started coming up and they're looking really good, but I think I'm gonna have to move them so they don't compete with the Brunnera that's next to them. This hydrangea is also coming back. Again, leaving the old wood allowed it to flourish pretty early, so looking forward to the blooms on this one. Camellia's done. Here's the back part of the garden. So the hostas are doing well. I planted some geraniums back here. Thought they were an interesting little plant. This one seems to be doing really well. Some more hostas. This is a bleeding heart. I thought it was cool, so I just planted one of those back there. And I've got some azaleas back here. These are encore azaleas. This specific type is called Autumn Embers. This is also autumn embers. This is more hostas, geraniums. And I've got a caladium back here. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it yet, but I'll find somewhere to put it. I've got some coleus back here that I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with yet, but I've got it sitting back there, so we'll see. And I brought some more. I bought some more of these heucheras so that I could fill out this area back here, and then I'll probably plant some Brunnera in between them when those become available at the store. Of course, I still have a lot of cleanup to do as far as the landscape. I have to fix the landscaping fabric. The voodoo lilies that came up last year really just tore it up, so I gotta readjust that. But all that's coming once the helicopters stop falling from the maple that's above. Going around the front, you can see that this azalea has started to bloom. This specific one is called Autumn Sunset. I think it's one of my favorites. This is a red type. And then here, this is a dahlia. Easily one of my favorite flowers. And this year I moved the speedwell to both sides of the porch, so that will fill in this area here. And on this side as well. I'm looking forward to seeing that come up. And here's the finished product for the side of the garden here. I think it came out pretty well. Got some snapdragons here in the corner. I planted some phlox right here. Some garden phlox. This is an azalea. This one is called Autumn Twist. You can see all those flowers coming up. There's also, this one is also Autumn Twist. You can see those flowers in there. This one is Autumn Bonfire, and it's just staying flush with flowers. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a flowering shrub with this many flowers on it. Easily one of my favorites. The crepe myrtle's coming back still. Got a lot more growth on it now. This is a dwarf variety, so it won't get very big. Some more phlox here and there. I planted this verbena here. This is called Superbena. Crystal amethyst, I think, or something along those lines. It's basically pink and white when it blooms. Back here we've got some snapdragons. One here and one on the other side here. And then I have another dahlia. This one's still in the process of blooming. And I've got some pansies in here as well, but they have yet to make an appearance, so waiting on that. The echinacea's coming back too. This is echinacea. This one's a white one. This one here and here, I think, are orange. So there's gonna be plenty of colors coming up in this area of the garden soon. So I'm on the left side of my house, and this is where I have my little side garden. Last year, this was a moon garden, meaning that it consisted of mostly or all white flowering plants. This year, I decided to go ahead and add some color in here, but there are a few plants in here from last year that have come back. So I think I'll have a good variety of color in this part of the garden this year. So in the back here, this is a Shasta daisy. This is called Becky. Becky gets to be about 3 to 4 feet tall, so she's literally gonna fill that whole corner right there. And I planted that one last year, and this is how it came back, so it's very happy. I do have to clean up some of the underbrush though. Planted some caladiums. That's where I think I had caladiums last year as well. This specific type can tolerate sun, so it's a good pop of color in the garden. This year I added some freesia. This is a new plant. I just kind of saw it at the garden center and thought it was pretty, so I picked it up. See those pink and yellow, or excuse me, purple and yellow blooms and white. This one comes back every year, so hope it likes that spot. Planted some petunias. They're looking a little rough right here, but this one looks good. This one also has some verbena in there. Purple and white. Some more petunias. This one is called Night Sky. This is easily one of my favorite petunias. Just very pretty. And this one is called Crystal Sky. It's a light purple. And I believe this is called Lithodoria. So this is a spreading plant. So that will spread around and fill this area. And then another snapdragon here on the end. So that's the first row. Kind of in the second row, I've got some more dahlias. It's just a very pretty bloom on there. And I've got two more dahlias. This one is starting to open up. And this purple one is really starting to make some progress. They were completely closed when I purchased them. This is echinacea that's coming back. That's garden phlox. I liked to put less plants in here this year so that they have a little more room to grow. So I think that will ultimately be the better decision for this area. Last year I was doing a lot of learning, so I was just kind of throwing whatever in there. But this year I have an idea of how I want this to look, so I think it's got a good start. And here's my cryptomeria still hanging in there. And this orange rocket barberry. This thing is exploding. It really is very happy here. I think it's very pretty when it's at this stage. It's very colorful. Like you can see how the inside is this light lime green and it goes to this bright orange. The problem with it is that in the wintertime, it looks really terrible. So I don't know that I want to keep this here forever, but I'm going to keep it here for this season at least. And on this side, we've got some loropetalums. This one is in bloom. All those pink and, well, just pink blooms. This sunshine ligustrum is really taken off. I'm going to have to trim it down so it's a little more even with the loropetalums. But it does a really good job of adding contrast between the two colors. And there's another loropetalum back here. It's also blooming. So that is my garden tour for mid-April. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned as there will probably be a lot more changes coming. I believe that there are some other areas of the house I'm going to focus on this year as far as planting, so there'll be more to come. All right, guys. See you later.